that show. We got some more qualifying matches tonight. We've got a tag title defense as well. So Chase U are defending against Stax and Tony, the family. And there seems like there's a little bit of something going on there, because you might remember that Chase U got handed some documents, and they certainly were making a thing out of that during the little NXT preview that we got during Raw. So it seems like there's something going on there. You might remember that woman and a couple of other family members. We don't normally see that often delivering these documents to Chase U. So I don't know. I feel like there's going to be more going on here than just this match. So it could be interesting. We've got Wes Lee against Baron Corbin. I think that's a qualifying match. I think it's a qualifying match. So Wes Lee, Baron Corbin. We've also got Noam Dar's Supernova sessions. That's going to feature Alpha Academy. That could be a lot of fun, actually. I really like Noam Dar. I think he's funny. I think the Supernova sessions is good. We don't get it that often. Alpha Academy could be good guests. As well as that, we got Roxanne Perez taking on Lash Legend. I believe that's a qualifying match. And we've got Trick Williams against Joe Coffey. Now, you might remember last week that Lexis King came in at the very end of the show. Did receive some negative reviews. I wasn't massively impressed, let's put it that way. I think it's all right to say that it wasn't a brilliant appearance and not a brilliant promo, but equally it is true he's only been there for a hot minute, so we'll see as to what they do with Lexis King. Sad Router, is that better? That is better, confirmed. So yeah, that's the lineup tonight. So we've obviously got the Trick Carmelo situation. Lexis King is involved. I'm looking for him to do a promo. We got Supernova sessions. I just found out apparently there's like a Xia Li, Lyra Valkyria segment, something to do with the Tea Party, which sounds a bit weird. So I don't know what's happening there, but we've got that happening as well. And news-wise, I think it's been relatively quiet today. I don't think there's been loads of bits and bobs. Let me just quickly double-check the Observer. So front page of the Observer has got live coverage of NXT, like, you know, they're typing as the results come in. Young Bucks and Penta and Commander set for Dynamite. Logan Paul addresses saving Rey Mysterio's life at Crown Jewel. WWE Raw ratings down. He didn't save his life. WWE Raw ratings down against strong NFL competition. This is interesting. It felt like it was going to be not the strongest number. Raw last night did 1.47. I gotta say, I thought it would be even lower than that. 1.47. I'm surprised it's that high. The Denver Broncos against the Buffalo Bills did 17.6 million. Oh my god. Oh my god. 17.6 million for that. And we've got 1.47 million that tuned in for Raw. Right, we've got Vikingo and Commander tag team match announced for Ring of Honor TV. We've got Rey Mysterio undergoing knee surgery. We've got Collision ratings up but still below 400,000. Haven't seen what they did. 396. That's how many people tuned into Collision, and we didn't have a pay-per-view, did we? So that's just their number for this week, 396. Okay. What else have we got? We've got The Rock explains how his surprise return happened. That's the news, man. Oh, I'll tell you one thing I didn't just get a chance to do on the Wrestling Escape Pod, and I was going to look at it. I was going to watch that video. I can't do it now. I was going to watch the video that James sent me. I think a few people sent it over. And I appreciate it. It was the video of Zelina Vega pranking Dominic Mysterio. I was going to have a look at that. It was a pretty stacked Wrestling Escape Pod this week. We didn't really get much opportunity to delve into all the stuff I wanted to delve into. So it was a pretty stacked episode. So I don't know if we'll get a chance to look at that. I don't, do you know, I love the Wrestling Escape Pod because I've come to the conclusion that it doesn't matter if we get demonetized over there because that channel don't make no money anyway. So it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It doesn't make any difference whatsoever if videos are monetized or demonetized. It only affects how easy it is for people to find. I think if someone is demonetized, it's harder to find in the search. So if you are someone that joins us for the Wrestling Escape Pod, it's got its own channel. We do it on a Tuesday, and it might be a struggle to find the episodes on like, you know, have them recommended, because we're starting to just play random videos now. And I definitely would have played that Zelina Vega one, but I can't do it here because it does actually matter if this gets demonetized, because this is my life. So, yeah, it does give us a bit more freedom over there, which is kind of nice. Something we probably should use a bit more, and something we will use more. So, yeah, thank you to everyone that sent that over. I did watch it. It was funny. What I would say, though, is it was also a little bit of an eye-opener, because it was basically Zelina pretending to be a kid, and she called up Dominic Mysterio, and she was like putting on a kid's voice, and she was trying to order food. And the conversation, Dominic said, "Is your mom there?" And Zelina was like, "Yeah." And he went, "Is your mom hot?" Like, and was asking about the kid's mom. And pictures not that long ago came out of Dominic with his now fiance, I believe. And it sort of shows you what life is like on the road, doesn't it? I mean, I don't know where that could have led to if the mom had gone onto the phone, if it was a real situation and the mom had gone onto the phone and she was single and she was chatting with Dominic Mysterio. In the background, you can hear someone, I don't know who it was, but they were saying, "Nah, abort, get out. Don't pursue this one." But it does make you wonder. I mean, you shouldn't wonder, but it did make me wonder, like, these kind of opportunities being taken advantage of, Dominic. Is this your normal approach? If a kid calls you up and they're asking for food, my natural instinct wouldn't be, "Is your mum hot? Is your mum there? Is your mum hot?" That wouldn't be my natural instinct. My natural instinct would be, "I'm afraid you got the wrong number, buds," and I would put it down. I wouldn't be like, "Is your mum there? Is she hot? Can you put her on?" I wouldn't be doing that. So I thought that was quite interesting. And in the background, you can hear a voice, whoever he's driving with. He asks the kid how old the kid is. It's Zelina Vega, by the way. She says that she's 7. And he goes, "You're 7?" And in the background, you hear someone going, "Nah, abort. He's like, "You're 7? You're calling me and you're 7? And in the background, yeah, they're like, "Nah, leave it. But I was like, oh, man, I gotta tell you. If I was lucky enough to be Dominic Mysterio's fiancée, girlfriend, yeah, I wouldn't be enjoying that exchange. There would be a conversation that would be had when he got home. Right. Elijah said, "Daze, what era of WWE would you debut in? The Stone Cold periods. Happy NXT Day." What era would I debut in? If I could choose any era, I would choose the... What era would I choose? I would choose the mid-90s. 93. I would debut in 93 because then I would get to wrestle in the Manhattan Center. Amazing. And then after a couple of years of establishing myself, who am I competing with at the top of the cards? Diesel. Sid. An aging Vader. Undertaker, who isn't given many opportunities with the belt because he doesn't need it. You know, people will tune in for the Undertaker regardless. Shawn, Brett, you know, at that period of time, we're struggling to find our next big superstar. We're trying lots of things, and lots of things ain't working. So I've got to think that if you're committed, you've got a bit of size to you, and I would hit the gym. I'd hit the steroids, I'd hit everything. If you got a bit of size to you, You have really put the time in. You've learned how to be a wrestler. You've given it absolutely everything. That's got to be the best period where you could probably make it. You could make a name for yourself. You could actually get somewhere in that period of time. If you debut during the Attitude Era, are you really going to be able to replace Stone Cold and The Rock and Triple H and everything that was going on? Like, I reckon if I debuted in the Attitude Era, I would probably lose my job within the space of a month. If I debuted in the mid-90s, I would stand a better chance of sticking around. Because if I was to be a wrestler, I would give it absolutely everything. So, you know, you ain't going to replace Hulk Hogan in the 80s. And you ain't going to replace Stone Cold or The Rock in the 90s. You ain't going to replace John Cena throughout the 2000s. So, and you ain't replacing Roman Reigns right now. So you've got to look for those periods of time where they were struggling and they were trying different things so that you could get in the mix. So strategically, I would look to go into that era. Seth freaking Roland said, "Are you streaming Full Gear this Saturday?" Do you know what? I actually don't know. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. It is on Saturday. We could do it, or we could end up doing UFC. I think those are our two options. I do love our UFC community, and I do love doing UFC. But AEW do have a decent size show. I don't think there'll be any big reveals or anything, because I think that Dolph Ziggler is still, or Mustafa Ali, or whoever it is they've got from those releases, I don't think they can show up at that show yet. I think it's got to be a little bit further past that. So that's a tough one, man. That is a tough one, because it's not a big UFC show. So we could go with AEW Full Gear, but equally, is it the biggest AEW show? I mean, it's not All In, it's not All Out, it's not Double or Nothing. That's a tricky one. I don't know. I'll have to give it some thought. Well, who do you think will be the fifth member of War Games to side with Cody, Zayn, Rollins, and Jay? I think it will be Randy Orton. What happened to Owen Hart? He passed away. He died in ring. I mean, there's documentaries on it, loads of stuff on it. He passed away when he was going, I think he was being lowered from the ceiling because he was being the Blue Blazer character. And I don't think he was like doing the Shawn slide into the ring. I think it was more he was being lowered down. And what was holding him couldn't support his weight, and so he ended up falling and sadly fell to his death. But there's lots of documentaries and things that you can find online that go into great detail. I think, was it Darkside actually that gave us details we never knew before? There's a lot of stuff that will just give you the same information, but I think it was the Dark Side of the Ring episode that actually they sit down with his widow, his former wife, and she actually, I think, has the thing that went wrong. And I think it turned out in that episode that it could hold about 60 pounds. And anything more than that, it was built to release. Like it was completely the wrong thing for the job. And so, you know, he clearly weighs more than 60 pounds and it released and he fell. So Big Time says, Daze, Rampage was 322, Collision was 396, Dynamite was 804. People tell you why don't you do Collision stream, but the numbers don't justify it. I'm sure the network is happy, but outside of Dynamite, I mean, the numbers don't justify it. We've said before, like if we do about, say, 4,000 views from an 800,000 Dynamite watch-along thing, you can halve that then, can't you? You know, if half the people are watching Collision, then I don't think it's unfair to suggest that half the people will join us for our Collision watch-along. So that would mean that if we normally do 4,000 for Dynamite, we'll end up doing 2,000 for Collision. If I do UFC, I can do about 10,000. I can do 5 times that. So our UFC community greatly outweighs at AEW community. And, those Saturday streams, that's on a quiet week. Those Saturday streams, like weekend just gone, we did, I think, 30,000. Weekend before that, I think was 60,000. Weekend before that, I think was 50,000. So rather than doing, 150,000 views over the past 3 weeks, we would have done 6,000 views. That's the difference. 6,000 views or 150,000 views. There is just no way we are doing Collision. If they would move it to a Thursday, a day where we don't have like a wrestling show that we watch, I would be open to watching it. So it's everything to do with the day, but that's why we don't do it. In regards to the numbers being low, we know they're low. The problem that they've got is that they're low, and I mean, what is going to turn it around for them? What is going to turn it around? They need something. So hopefully Tony has got a plan. Hopefully there's something that he's got up his sleeve that he thinks, well, if I was Tony, I'd have something in place. I'd be like, right, once we get to that date, bang, this will shock people. It might be Mercedes Moné, but that's a big ask for her to come in and, inject life into everything. That's a big... Adam Copeland couldn't do it. He came in and she ain't bigger than him. And he's come in and we're not, we're seeing the numbers that we're seeing. So, it's difficult, innit? It's really difficult. But, this is the wrestling industry, and the wrestling industry is difficult. It's hard. Everything is a fight. It's a fight. It's an endless fight. And so they are battling every single week for same as NXT, same as Raw, same as SmackDown, same as Impact. Everyone is battling to try and get some views. So, it's a battle that they are hanging in there with. Their problem is they need to see it going that way. Otherwise, the risk is next year it could end up going the other way, and it could get even worse. Mr. Dow Jr. said, I would do the early 2010s, about 2012 or 2013. I would beat Roman at WrestleMania 32 to the Money in the Bank briefcase. I would be the second person to cash in at WrestleMania 32. Luann, shout out to you. I hope you are well. Charles said, when do you think they will send Braun to the main roster? I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. I think that he is ready. I think that he could go at any point, but I think they're right to not move him up unless they've got something planned for him, There's people on the main roster that aren't being used. We're seeing people like... Who are we seeing people? We're seeing people like Karrion Kross, who is a great superstar, but is seemingly not... They can't find anything for him. And we know that, Thingy, the big guy, what's his name? Odyssey Jones. He got called up. We haven't seen any Odyssey Jones. We haven't seen much of Indashia. We've only just started doing something with Xia Li. We haven't really got going with Indy Hartwell, Candice LeRae. We've only just managed to get DIY underway. Like, there is so many people that need time and TV time that to really be calling up like a load of people would be a bit reckless, I think, because if you looked at Raw, there was just so many people that are just cold. They're just cold because they haven't really got much story going on. We're trying to do something with them now, which is good, but it's going to take a while for us to get somewhere. Like, we need to do work with DIY. We need to do work. We need to get the Creeds moving. We need to do work with Zoe Stark, who came out to crickets. We need to do work with Xia Li, who's only getting a bit of TV time. So someone like Bron Breakker, I really wouldn't be calling him up just for the sake of calling him up. Like, make sure that it's ready for him. Make sure we need him. There's a plan for him. And honestly, if that's going to be after WrestleMania, then it's after WrestleMania, isn't it? If we've got to just keep him down in NXT, and we're going to call him up after Mania, fine, so be it. It could be before that. It might be... I don't think it would be after that. I think the night after WrestleMania at the latest for Bron Breakker. But I'm not in a rush. I would much rather that when he gets brought up, it's we've got a plan, you know. But UFC is better than AEW, says Tom. Alex Talks Wrestling said, once Carmelo is finished with Trick, I think he'll go to the main roster. Bron gets put in the Rumble. He could eliminate Brock, and that's where you put Bron on the map at WrestleMania 40 after beating Brock, says Alex Talks Wrestling. James said, NXT is on TNT Sports 2. Thank you. I don't know if I've got that channel on, you know. I don't know. I was a bit rushed when I set it up because I tried to set it up before the web, and I'm always, you know me, I'm always lastminute.com. So I actually don't know what channel we're on at the moment, so I will have to keep an eye on this. If I have to just quickly jump up and change the channel, I might have to do that. So James, thank you. I think we read those. Jim said, I can understand UFC streams are important. I understand UFC streams are important, but could you not at least read recaps so that you're in the loop with what's happening on AEW? I could read recaps. I could. Yeah, I could. But I think that I think that it's their job, to be honest. I see it as like their job, not really my job, to kind of tell me what's going on. I mean, maybe that's just because I've watched WWE for so long, and WWE love recaps and they love video packages, that if you're a casual fan and you're someone that can only watch once in a while, because you got to remember there's people that are watching for the first time all the time. I think that like wrestling does have a responsibility to make it as easy as possible for you to be able to understand and follow the storylines. And I think that there's a responsibility on their end for that. You can certainly, I don't think you're wrong in saying that I could carry part of that responsibility as a regular viewer as well. I don't think you're wrong in saying that at all. So it's not a criticism. I'm not saying that anyone's wrong, but I would be willing to take a percentage of the blame for not following the storylines, right? Because I could find time that, you know, I could, you know, it'd be ludicrous to suggest that in a week I couldn't put like half an hour aside, if that, to sit down and read a report as to what happened. Even if I can't find the 2 hours to watch Collision, right? I could find the half an hour to sit down and read someone's review of it, right? I could definitely do that. But I do think they have to carry a bit of that responsibility as well, though. I do think they have to carry a bit of the responsibility of it not being easy to follow and storylines progressing on a different show. And certainly a show where there's only less than 400,000 people that are watching it. That means that 50% of their audience, I'm not the minority here. I'm not someone that's like, you know, doing something out the ordinary. I'm doing what the majority are doing. There's more people that only watch Dynamite and don't watch both shows. There's more people that do what I'm doing than don't. And maybe that is a little part of the problem, is that, you know, because we can't watch on a Saturday because I'm doing something else at that time. And trying to shoehorn in watching a 2 hour show, whatever, you know, that's a difficult thing for me to do. I mean, I haven't watched a film this year. So I'm not lying when I say trying to find like 2 hours where, if it was just the audio, maybe I could get away with it, because I do listen to podcasts in the background. But I sort of feel like you probably need to be watching what's happening if you're really going to want that full experience. So, like, I can't find 2 hours to sit down and watch a show that's already aired, because I've got, like, things that I'm doing in the background. I mean, I've actually made 6 videos this week, which haven't dropped yet, but they will drop. And I'm trying to get, like, 20-odd made before the end of the year so that I can just fire them out over Christmas. So that's the kind of thing I do when I'm not around, is sleep, try and keep up with various bits of news, and then make these videos. And then it's time to set up a stream. It's time to start. I just seem to do that week after week after week after week. So it is very, very difficult to watch 2-hour show, but I could keep up with the results. But I'll take a bit of blame on that. But I think that they have to take some blame as well. I think they have to take some blame that they are not bringing people up to speed with this is how the story developed on Collision. I will say that there are moments where they do show you things that happened on Collision, but there's so much that advances seemingly on Rampage and on Collision that there will always be things that are like, hang on, where's this come from? What's this? And it's difficult. It is difficult. Maybe it's too difficult to keep people up to date with everything that's happening because there is just too much, and you just drown the show in recaps. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's like difficult to do that. But I think that the problem is that like the more disconnected I feel with AEW, because make no mistake about it, I mean, I'm ready to pull the plug on it. I'm absolutely ready to pull the plug on it. I don't need it for views or anything like that. Like I do it because I was enjoying watching an alternative to WWE. It worked in our schedule. I actually thought that when it was going head to head with NXT, there was lots of weeks where I thought it was the better show. I actually thought they were putting out the better product. So it was never a case of hate watching. It was never a case of that. And so we were watching it. And then I loved it when it meant that NXT moved and we could put all our attention to the two shows individually. I absolutely loved that because that was perfect for me. We can do NXT full attention on a Tuesday, AEW full attention on a Wednesday. Lovely, lovely, lovely. But this year for them, and I would even go back as saying the brawl out, you know, the fallout of All Out with the CM Punk backstage brawl, the suspensions, that just feels like such a seismic moment in their history. I can't explain why. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because plans had to be ripped up, because clearly they would have had plans for the Elite. Clearly they would have had plans for CM Punk. All of them plans had to go out the window because the Elite was suspended. Punk was suspended. We had to rip them plans up. We had to go with new plans that were, you know, written on the back of a fag packet. Moxley was going to go away, but he ended up sticking around. He had a title reign that wasn't planned, and they had to get through that period of time. I don't think that period is a very good period. I think they are in survival mode, and I don't think they've ever recovered, to be honest. I think that they took some big shots that day, and those suspensions really hurt them. And I think you could feel it in the product. And I don't know that they ever fully recovered. At the end of the year, they went with MJF. And it was funny because we were just saying on the Wrestling Escape Pods that, and I've said this during streams as well, so people know I'm not lying. I think you have to look at the champion. If you are struggling to draw a house, if you are struggling to get ratings, the first thing I would look at is my champion, the person that's on top. MJF is a fantastic talent, but you're either not using him right, or he's not a big enough star to bring the people in, right? He's a brilliant talent. He's a brilliant promo. He's one of the best heels in the business, but it is undeniable that they cannot sell out 10,000 seat venues. They have to do setups for 4,000, and even then they sell 3,000 tickets. It's undeniable that the ratings have gone down rather than up. We're seeing consistently just poor numbers. I do think Collision has to take part of the blame. I've said this before. I do think Collision has to take part of the blame because before, Dynamite was your one-stop shop. No one cared about Rampage. No one's ever cared about Rampage. But Dynamite was your one-stop shop. Whereas now, you've got Dynamite on a Wednesday, and then you've got Collision on a Saturday. And so some of them big matches that you used to get on Dynamite, they now have moved over to Collision. And so all of a sudden now, Dynamite's not getting everything it used to get. It's not getting the stars it used to get. It's not getting the big matches it used to get. It's getting a lot, but it's not getting everything. And last year, it was getting everything. So I think that has to take part of the blame. I think that MJF is big with the AEW fans. He's got no reach beyond that. He's got no reach beyond that. He doesn't mean anything to people like casuals, and I think that's a problem. And I also think that the way he's been used has not been brilliant. I think as well the fact that he shows up at the start of a show, and then like you might not see him. There might be the odd bit dotted throughout, but there'll be a different main event. We've compared it to Bloodline, where Roman will do a promo at the start. There'll be backstage segments with Roman, and then Roman will be involved in the main event. Roman is the reason for SmackDown's ratings being as strong as what they are. You've got to give the credit to the Bloodline, and the biggest part of the Bloodline is Roman Reigns. You know, AEW have not learnt from that. Instead, they use MJF in the opening segment, couple of little interviews or something backstage, and that's it. And then whatever the main event is, that's got to carry the weight of the second part of the show. That's got to carry that. That's got to keep people around, and it doesn't. There's so many times where it'll start off hot and then just trail off. You know, it just goes down as people lose interest as the show continues. There's a lot of stuff like, and as time has gone by, it's gotten harder and harder and harder to like be invested. And I'm at the point now where I'm just, you know, I'm not invested. I not a fiber in my body wants to watch Collision. I don't even want to watch Collision. I don't care about what happens on the show. What I will say is that I'm not watching on a Wednesday to hate watch. I actually thought last week was a decent episode, and I said so. But you know, it doesn't mean that I'm desperately like, you know, oh man, I need, you know, if I don't get this video done, then so be it. I need to watch Collision. You know, I could do that. Forget making videos. I'm gonna watch Collision instead. I'm not engaged with it. I just think the product has gone so stale, so flat. And it's funny because I'm looking around at places that used to enjoy AEW as well, and there's a lot of people that are saying the same thing now. There's a lot of people that were on board with AEW that are saying that this has been a very difficult year. So I think that there's people that are in that similar boat, to be honest. I don't think I'm alone. But this is very interesting. Even this is interesting because this says to me that there is a problem there that needs to be fixed. And I am fascinated, genuinely, honestly fascinated to see if they are going to fix it and if they can fix it. I know what I would look to do. I would get the title off MJF. I know that for a starter. I would make the show more serious in its tone. I'd cut a load of the silliness out, right? That would be gone. And I would really build up some really cool wrestlers, some badasses. I would really invest in some people, give them some win streaks, make sure they're having some good matches, try and, you know, go back to the basics, good matches, great promos, build up some interesting characters, little vignettes that are going to really, like, you know, build these people up. Maybe dial down on some of the brawls, add in a bit of mystery. People seem to like the who's the devil thing. That seems to have done well. But people love mysteries and cryptic clues. We learnt that from White Rabbit. I would definitely look to drop a few things in the background, get a few people talking. Who do you think this is? Who do you think that mystery partner is? Not overdo it, but there's room for that in wrestling. And I think what they're doing with the devil thing, I think that has connected with people that watch AEW. So I think that, you know, those are the sorts of things that I would look to do as a starting point. And who would I go with as champion? I think I would be tempted to put it onto someone like Danielson, someone that has got a bit of name value, or I'd put it onto someone like Christian, and then, you know, Christian Edge for the AEW Championship. I feel like that's going to bring in some eyes. I think Edge and Christian is going to bring in eyes anyway. But if you can put like the main belt, I mean, they're faffing around under the mid-card belt. If you go put the main belt on that and it closes the show and Edge wins and all of a sudden he's your AEW champion, I would imagine people that watch that would be interested to see what he does next. And I think that could, that's the kind of people that I think you need around the top of the cards. I know what the counter argument would be. The counter argument would be, yeah, but what about building stars? You've got to build stars. And I think they've built MJF. MJF is over with their crowds. But what they've got to do now is they've got to get MJF in front of casual fan eyes, right? So they need to find a way of introducing MJF to as many people as possible. And, him being champion might not necessarily be the right way forward with that. Him being champion is, certainly something you can do. Like, him being the champion for the Wembley show, I'm not down on that. I don't think they used him right, but I'm not down on him being the champion for that show because I think there were some casual fans that came along, took a chance on it. 90-odd thousand there's amazing. So MJF being the guy on top during that show, I'm not down on that. But I think that what you want to do is you want to bring in some of those fans that don't normally watch, and Edge could help bring them in. And then when they are watching, they're introduced to MJF, and that helps make MJF a bigger star. And that might help him more than him having the belt. So it's one of those where Edge being the champion can also help build your homegrown stars, because it's bringing in the extra eyes that are missing. If he's champion and he does bring in eyes, your 800,000 goes to 900,000 and stays there. It's an extra 100,000 people that aren't watching at the moment that are being introduced to MJF. And, I'd be looking to get him onto late night talk shows. I'm trying to get him onto podcasts. I'd be trying to get him out there. I'd be trying to get MJF out there as much as I could. Getting him, onto places where maybe there aren't people that watch, but get his name out there. How do I build up MJF, right? How do I build him up? Just putting a belt on him and leaving that belt on him isn't necessarily the right answer. That's not always the right solution to the problem. It's a solution, but it may not be the solution. And so we might have to look at it from a different approach. But yeah, make no mistake about it. I would want MJF to be a big star. I would want Sammy Guevara to be a big star. I would want Ricky Starks to be a big star. But how do you go about achieving that? Giving them endless wins and titles, as I said, is one way, but it might not be the right way. There might be other ways that you can do it. And one of those is by MJF not being champ, putting the belt on someone that's a bigger name in the industry, which may bring in more viewers and then may expose him to more people. That could also be a different way. So I think it's very interesting. I think what's going on with AEW is and to be honest, that's another reason why I still watch. I watch because even if the product doesn't slap me around the face, I think the conversations of what are they doing? Why is it going wrong? How do they turn it around? I think these are very interesting conversations. And I think I've said many times, we're so lucky to live during a time where we can have these conversations. There is a billionaire risking his money, spending his money to have a wrestling promotion, and we get to watch how the decisions that he makes affects the business he has. And we can sort of treat it like, well, I wouldn't have done that. I would have done this instead. And we can see that what he's done, if it works or if it doesn't work. And I think he has had some success. And I think he's had some failure and missteps. And I don't think it's unfair to say the product is a bit stale at the moment. I think it can be turned around. I think it can be said. I think they've got a lot of talent on that roster that can be better utilized. And it's not a case of just sticking the knife into Tony. It's just about being realistic about where I see it. That's realistically where I see it. That is my honest, could not be more honest opinion of where it is. I think there's some really good people there. I think some really good talent there. I think they absolutely have got potential to do something, but the pieces just aren't quite fitting at the moment. It's like we've got a jigsaw puzzle and we can sort of make the picture out, but it's not quite right. I don't know that piece actually does go there. I think that probably goes over here. And where does this one go? That's how AEW feels to me. It's just a bit jumbled at the moment. But if we could work it out, if we could actually create the proper picture, you could have something quite special. And there have been glimpses of that shown at different times as to kind of how special it can be. Certainly selling 90,000 tickets for Wembley, or how many? 80,000 for Wembley? Yeah, all right, so only 72,000 turned up, but whatever. They sold 80-odd thousand tickets, which I do believe. I do believe they did sell those. You know, that's pretty special. I know you can make excuses and say, yeah, but they hadn't been there before, and blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff. But they still sold that many tickets. I don't care what the reason is. You've still got a product that was hot enough that many people wanted to come and see it. That's good. That's good. That is definitely a dub. It's dub. People can try and disguise it as L's, but it's definitely a dub. And so I think that it's going to be a very interesting 2024. Kieran said, I'm very excited for Survivor Series and the next Monday Night Raw. Kieran, shout out to you. Sean says, if Nakamura has an open challenge at Survivor Series, as unlikely as it is, how could it be anyone but CM Punk? Who would you like to see accept it if not Punk? Thank you. If Nakamura has an open challenge at Survivor Series, I think that there is a chance that it's not Punk. I don't think Punk's coming in. I think that he has said that he's got his sights on someone. I think this is interesting, but I think it's nothing more than speculation. If people are thinking that's where it's going. And who would I have it be? I think it could be AJ Styles. I think it could be, I don't know, what faces have we got? He's a heel. So, you know, what faces are we dealing with? He's on Raw, isn't he? I think Styles is on SmackDown, actually. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the Raw roster. Right, it needs to be someone that's got something about him, doesn't it? I mean, Apollo Crews' name came up. That wouldn't make much sense. Braun Strowman, I think, is out injured. That doesn't make much sense. Cody would make sense. I've seen people speculating that he could be referring to Cody Rhodes and that he wants Cody's spot, basically. So if it was open challenge at Survivor Series, Cody is already involved in a match, so it wouldn't be Cody. But that's the one I've seen people saying that this could be leading to. Finn Balor would be fun, but Finn is a heel at the moment. Gunther would be interesting because he's got a title. But again, he's heel, so that doesn't make a great deal of sense. But Johnny Gargano could be fun because Johnny was Johnny Wrestling. He was the guy down in NXT. I tell you the other name as well, Sami Zayn, because Sami and Nakamura faced for Nakamura's debut, and it was an absolute flipping banger. And Nakamura has struggled on the main roster, whereas Sami is at the point where he's getting like title matches. And maybe Nakamura could look to reignite that. Again, Sami is in a match at Survivor Series, so I don't think it would be Sami if it is going to be an open challenge. But I don't know that it's going that way. Johnny Gargano, though, that could be interesting. Kofi Kingston could be interesting as well. He's a former WWE champion. It would be a letdown if people are expecting CM Punk and it turns out to be Kofi Kingston. But I wouldn't see it going that way. But he is a former champion. You know, if Nakamura goes on a bit of a run where he wants to beat former champs now, you know, he wants to prove that he can be champion by beating former champions. That wouldn't be a bad story. You know, he could target Kofi. He could target The Miz. There's a few people that he could go after that are former champions. That's not a bad little story, actually. Him going after former champs to prove that he is good enough to be at that level. Kofi achieved it. I beat him. Miz achieved it. I beat him. Finn achieved it. I beat him. I wouldn't mind that story. Ricochet, I don't think it'd be Ricochet. Sammy is already involved in a match. AJ Styles, I don't mind. I know he's on a different brand, but I think Survivor Series, you could get away with that. Tommaso, yeah, no, I wouldn't really do Tommaso. That's it for Raw. It's not really anyone else on Raw. Let's have a look at SmackDown. AJ, I like AJ, as we said. Bobby is a bit of a heel, so Bobby wouldn't make sense. Dragon Lee, that wouldn't make sense. Grayson wouldn't make sense. Anyone in the bloodline wouldn't make sense. Carrion wouldn't really make sense. Kevin Owens? Maybe Kevin Owens. I don't know quite what the story would be. I don't know why he would target Kevin. I'm sure there must have been something in their past that you can dig up. I'm sure there must be something you could look at. Maybe Kevin has beaten him in the past and Shinsuke never got over it, never recovered it from it, you know. LA Knight. LA Knight. You know, maybe Shinsuke is upset with LA's popularity and the fact that he's come along and he's so over. There's actually not a few bad options over on SmackDown. If you think of Owens, AJ, LA Knight, they're not bad. Don't think it'd be Montez. Ray's injured at the moment. Wouldn't be Roman. Wouldn't be Santos. Wouldn't be Solo. Sheamus would be a banger, wouldn't it? Imagine that. Sheamus against Shinsuke. That would bang, man. Again, he's over on SmackDown. So if we're not going to worry about the SmackDown, Raw kind of divide because it's Survivor Series, then you've got a few options. If it's just on Raw, then you're more limited for options. But as we said, we don't know that it's going to lead to an open challenge at Survivor Series anyway. We don't know quite where it's going. But he does seem to have someone in mind. But the name that I saw being speculated about was Cody Rhodes. KO just got drafted to SmackDown. Why would he go back to Raw? He wouldn't have to go back to Raw. If it was going to be an open challenge at Survivor Series, where traditionally we've seen SmackDown and Raw go up against each other, and who's to say we don't get a team, Adam Pearce team, Nick Aldis, you know, that could be made on Friday. It could be made next Monday. We could get some along those lines where we get like some sort of Raw SmackDown battle. It's not a case of him going back to Raw. We're talking about an open challenge that gets answered. We're talking about a one-off match. So I'm not saying that that's the direction it's going. I'm just saying that Survivor Series traditionally has been SmackDown versus Raw. So I don't think it's stupid to look over at the SmackDown roster and see, like, you know, would someone over there answer it? I don't think that's any more stupid than saying it's going to be CM Punk, who all the dirt sheets have said is not coming in. And I've never thought was coming in from the start anyway. I think, like, that doesn't strike me. Saying it's going to be Kevin Owens, who is actually signed to WWE and is an actual wrestler that could actually be used at Survivor Series, that doesn't strike me as more stupid than saying it's going to be CM Punk. I could see Drew kicking Priest out of Judgment Day since he joined. Well, I don't know that he's joined. He's helping them, but I mean, we don't know that he's a member of Judgment Day. My belief is that he will join them for Survivor Series and then he'll go off on his own after. I don't think that, you know, this is probably a business relationship. I don't know that he's going to be the leader of the group and actually join the group. It could go that way. But I think that it's probably got a better chance of being a case that Drew is going to be someone that will be a heel and will just help them out for Survivor Series. That's what she said, I kind of don't want to see Styles Nakamura. I'd be afraid that he was going to use AJ's balls as a punching bag. Fair point. Daze, did you see the new figure pics? I didn't. Are they good? Should we have a look at them? I did see something there. Mr. Dal Jr. said, according to PW Mania, SmackDown has sold 12,500 tickets with 370 remaining. There are 15 tickets remaining for a 2-day package. Dominico said, I've got a dream theory. Drew attacks and takes off Judgment Day's Damian Priest, eventually challenging him and taking his money in the bank and potentially cashing in on Dragunov on NXT. Right, let's have a look, shall we, and see what is on, I'm guessing, ringside collectibles. Oh, that's a nice Bailey, straight off the bat. What time is it? Oh, God, it's time for NXT. Oh, my God. I haven't even got time. I didn't even realise. And I need to change the channel. Not ready. It's you. I did have the wrong channel. We'll have to have a look at these pictures when we get to... we'll have to look at these pictures when we get to the first commercial break. So, Chase U taking on the family. This is for the NXT Tag Team titles. Chase U. Now, as we said, I think there's going to be something that goes on here because they got some papers that were served, and that was quite a dramatic little moment. Maybe it was just something that was to build this match up a little more, but I don't know, just kind of get the sense that there's more to it. I've not seen any of these pictures. I think they dropped a couple of hours ago, so... I can see some DX retro figures that look really good. It's great to see China in there, so we will have a look at these. Okay, we are underway. We got JC and Thea at ringside. Intoxicated Drums, shout out to you. Why are Chase U being investigated, says Not JPEG. James said, you'd be lost without me telling you about the channels. That is true. Why are they being investigated? I actually don't know. They handed over papers, documents of some kind, but I don't know if we found out any more than that. Stacks in there with Andre Chase. It looks fairly busy inside the arena. Sometimes you can see the odd empty seat, but I can't see any. Oh, maybe one. Takedown there by Andre Chase and rolling over, looking for a pin on Stacks. Hawkins said, Daze, why not have a storyline like Shinsuke holding out because he's requesting a trade that would force Adam Pearce to trade him? Yeah, you could maybe have a little look at that. We've done a trade before. You could trade Shinsuke over. I think the Shinsuke thing's really interesting because he is doing some brilliant vignettes. There's newspapers in the stand that some of these Chase U students are reading, so they do look uninterested. Okay, we do have a story here. So, Chase U students in the crowd, some of them are reading newspapers. And they're shaking their heads like there's been some sort of report that's dropped. That's interesting. That's different. Yeah, the Shinsuke thing, as we said, it's really interesting because he is just feeling, you know, as great as ever. I love his video packages. His backstage, like, pre-recorded promos. It's a brilliant way to present him. But he's had a couple of shots at the world title, the heavyweight title that Seth's got. So where does he go now? What does he do now? I think the who's he calling out story is quite interesting and getting people to speculate. Thea has got a towel. That always makes me nervous because she never really forgave Andre Chase for throwing the towel in on her. Back in the corner goes Andre Chase. There's a lot of students that are like standing around as well. There's one that's standing up at the back. There's a couple that are standing over at the side in the stands. Normally they're like all together, but they're actually not all together now. They're kind of like dotted around. It does feel a bit different. Against the ropes goes Stacks. Duke picks up Stacks, hurls him into the ropes. Stacks goes down. Against the ropes goes Tony. It's not pretty. He didn't quite get over Andre Chase there. Andre Chase gets thrown to the outsides. Stacks gets thrown against the ropes by Tony. He gets hip-tossed over the top. And he comes crashing down. And it hurts inside. Dun, 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 dun. At the start of the show, they did a promo for Chase U being under investigation. Oh, thank you. I missed the first minute. Let's have a look, shall we, at these images. We've got... It's nice, isn't it? Look at that China, man. That China's brilliant. In fact, they're all... The Billy Gunn's really... I'm not sure about Road Dogg or Triple H, but the middle two look brilliant. Road Dogg, I don't know. I can see that it's him, but something just looks a bit off. Triple H just looks fat in the face. But China looks great. And I'd say the best one is Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn looks brilliant there. Nice pack of gym as well. You get all four of them. Good to see the retros still around. Oh, hello. I don't think we've had an Eric Bischoff before. This would be the first Eric Bischoff. Ah, look at that. That's nice. Eric Bischoff. WCW Nitro ring. Okay, fair play. Pre-order. It was Ringside Fest, apparently. Retro thing, we've looked at that. Eric Bischoff, we've looked at that. Kevin Nash. Good face. Good face. Like the title as well. We haven't had loads of these like WCW belts, so it's always good to see them back in the line. Love the Outsider shirt. Love the face. That looks like a cracking figure. NWO shirt looks brilliant. Hey, yo. Yep. These are Ultimate Editions, and they look good. Yeah, look good. I don't like Cody's head. I like the screaming face one, but the one where he looks a bit more serious in the face, yeah, I don't like it as much. I can sort of see it's him, but it's such a weird facial expression. Just looks, I don't know. I think it ruins the figure a little bit, to be honest. I like the detail, but yeah, the face doesn't look as good. That doesn't look as good. The screaming one, I think, looks all right. Oh, hello, Pretty Deadly. That's pretty fun. Pretty fun from Pretty Deadly. Yeah, okay, we need an accessory, but I'm guessing it's going to be that top. This shirt, this whatever this is called. I'm guessing that'll be the accessory. Yeah, they're good. Pretty Deadly. It's good. Breakable cricket bat. That's a great weapon. A breakable cricket bat. That's fun. That's fun. Oh, man, I didn't think I'd ever get a cricket bat with a Mattel figure. That's fun. I like that. I love the weapon. That's good. Yeah, they showed this. I don't know what they've done to his face. They showed this at Wrestling Shop Live. Bruno, but in green trunks. Shame that it's the same accessory. We should be getting the Bruno belt. His belt from the 60s. We've still not had that. The blue one. Wow. Imagine if it's going to come with that robe as well. That's going to be sick. That's going to be sick. And a red version as well. How many more are there? We got Damian Priest, Big Bronson Reed, Bailey, Seth. Oh my god, there's loads. LA Knight. Oh my god, there's flipping loads. Logan with a Prime bottle. Wow. We'll have to come back to him. I didn't realise there's flipping loads, isn't there? Still going. Still going. Still going. Still going. Loads. Yeah, some good ones though. Elbow there by Stacks. This match is weak if Daze isn't commentating on it. Oh, no, we were at commercial break. Pin by Stacks. That's a figure video sorted, said James. Potentially it is, yes. Potentially it is. It's a lot of figures, yeah. Tony is grabbing a hold. Oh, a couple of people are leaving. Yeah, the students have got up and left. There's a couple that just got up and left. Tag being made. In comes Andre. Down goes Stacks. Down goes Tony. Down goes Stacks. Down goes Tony. Against the ropes goes Stacks. Drop kick there by Andre Chase. Swinging net breaker. Picking up he's here, but his mind is elsewhere. I didn't even catch who they were referring to. Duke Hudson's been playing his part. Andre Chase going to the outside. They just keep talking about how he doesn't have the same energy and all this kind of stuff. 1, 2. But I do think whatever the stuff is, this investigation and the students getting up and leaving and people, you can see them in the background, like all the Chase U students just looking really, it's very much distracting from the match. Kick coming in there by Stacks. Tag, in comes Tony. Tony has got Andre Chase. There's a German suplex there by Tony. Kick out by Andre. This is for the tag titles. There's Duke Hudson. He's still down. Come on, Duke. Dig deep. Dig deep. Against the ropes goes Andre. Duke comes in. He collides into Tony. 1, 2. Stacks. Kick out by Andre. Kick coming in there by Stacks. Andre goes down. It's just Stacks and Andre Chase. Oh, he misses. Inzaguri kick. Stacks goes down. Duke Hudson grabbing the leg of Andre Chase. Slingshotting himself into a German onto Stacks. So Chase U are in control at the moment. Now he's grabbing Tony. He's looking to go over the top. Tony gets out the way. Tony grabs the leg there of Duke. Duke goes into the ring steps. It's a long match, isn't it, this? Feels long. I think it's because there's just so much that's happening. It's all like 1,000,000 miles an hour. Andre is climbing up. Tony comes up. Shot coming in by Tony. I don't like Chase U, but I like JC Jane, said Intoxicated Drums. Big superplex by Tony. Stacks with the pin. And Duke makes the save. They're booing, said Callum. But the crowd are applauding as well. Big NXT chant. Everyone can get behind that. Even the Chase U students are getting behind like the NXT chant. Over in the corner goes Andre Chase. Big boot there by Andre Chase. To the outside goes Stacks. Big right hands coming in. And again, against the ropes goes Tony. He's working on the arm, looking for a Russian leg sweep. Kick coming in there by Andre Chase. And again, he's looking out at the crowd. He's getting distracted as more have left. More Chase U members have left. The crowd are chanting, walk out, walk out, walk out. Small package, roll up, inside cradle. Did he get it? No, 2 count. Spine buster! Huge from Tony. Big spine buster. That was massive. Against the ropes goes Andre. Picked up, slammed down. Feels like the beginning of the end. 1, 2, 3, and it is. We've got new tag team champions. Tony and Stacks. Well, to be honest, Chase U have got bigger problems. And that is that they're being flipping ripped apart. So Tony and Stacks get those tag titles back. Heartbreak for Chase U. Chase U is broken. They're gutted. Thea comes in. JC comes in. Here's Lita. So Lita has selected this week's Iron Survivor qualifying matches. Okay. Every week, NXT women show out. So, Roxanne Perez. She's giving Roxanne Perez an easy match. She loves Roxanne. She's giving her Lash Legend. I don't know when Lash Legend last won a match. I don't know if she's ever won a match. Trick. Trick has been killing it. He has been killing it. Slightly harder match for Trick, though. He's got to get past Joe Coffey. Yeah, I could see Joe Coffey making it into this match, but I'm sure it'll be Trick that makes it. Yeah, not a bad match. Good luck. Good luck, everyone. Roxanne wins that, no doubt, says not JPEG. Yeah, definitely. Is it going to be the Supernova sessions? We're just seeing Metaphor. Yeah! Let's go back to these figures, shall we? Just to wrap this up for those that are interested. We got a new Bret Hart. Basic figure, though. They just cannot get his face right, can they? I mean, what the heck? They're doing him dirty, man. Who's that? Who the flip's that? He must look at his figures and he must just be, oh man, oh god. How can, I don't get it. Don't understand. I mean, he's got a nose and eyes and a mouth and he looked normal and everything looked fine, but for some reason they just cannot make his figure. They just cannot make his figure. They can't do it. technology has not got to the point yet where we can make a Bret Hart figure that looks like Bret Hart. Which is crazy because his Hasbro actually looked quite good. His Hasbro from the early 90s, I didn't have any issue with that. And that was from like 91, something along those lines. Here we are in 2023, and we're flipping serving this up as his... Who's that? It looks like Shrek trying to be a human. Not good, man. Not good. Giovanni Vinci. That's better. Still not perfect, but it's better. Basics are always this way. Well, is that a basic? Because that's a damn good face scan, if that's a basic. If that it is. They've killed that Seth, haven't they? That's what's possible. That's what, if you're looking at that Brett going, oh, I don't think it's too bad. Well, this is what's possible. That's Seth, and it looks like Seth. Katana Chance, that's okay. Very bland figure though, innit? Look at the ring gear and everything, just bland. And she's small as well. It's going to be tiny. It's going to be a tiny figure. It's going to be like a size of your thumb. $1 Million Man coming to the basic series. I don't mind the face on that. Bit of detail as well. I mean, compare the amount of detail on this figure with the bow tie, the what's that called, a cummerbund or something around the midsection, the little collar detail, the dollar signs, like the way, like the creases. Compare the work that's gone into that compared to what the flip we've done here. We've done nothing here. Lots more work's gone into the $1 Million Man one. So it's a good figure, that. Looks, for a basic, not bad. A better one because she's got a lot of tattoo detail, hasn't she? So there's a lot of tattoo work that's gone into that. Yeah, and I think her face looks better, and I like the headband as well. And the hair is a bit more adventurous. You can do a lot more with Caden. The Dead Man. Very good. Can't really go wrong with an Undertaker. Very good. Kane. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. X-Pac. I don't know why. It looks like he uses hair dye here, certainly on the beard. I don't know if it's just the colour of it's a bit wrong or if it's a bit too black or whatever. But it's okay. Ooh, Lex Luger. That's quite nice. I've got an old Lex Luger that was in this style. I think the old one's better, actually. I can just see it on my shelf. He's got like a smiling expression. It looks better. John Cone, Build-A-Figure. Mammy. Dominic. Sheamus. Look at all this, man. It's too much. 2 commercial breaks we've dedicated to this, and we still can't get to it all. Right, we're backstage with Dirty Dom. He's having a word with Baron Corbin. If you need a hand, if you need a hand, let me know. There's some respect being shown between Dominic and Baron Corbin. Coming up next, though, we've got the Supernova sessions. Here we go, Supernova sessions with Alpha Academy. Hear me now. Live in the USA. Look at the Heritage Cup. It's behind glass and it's got like chains all over it. It's time for me to lash out. A voice just goes through me. He's took extreme security measures to make sure that no one can touch that cup. Here's Alpha Academy then. The guys look like they have the same body but different faces, says Suzanne. Well, on the figures, yeah, they do just use the same bodies, to be honest. There's not a great deal of variation. I mean, obviously, they make sure Omos has got a different body type. And, you know, they change a few bits and bobs. But by and large, it is just for a basic rinse and repeat. Change the head. Paint on different ring attire. Put on any tattoos that need to be put on and bish bash bosh. There's 2 chairs for 4 people. Maxine is taking a seat, as is Chad. Tozawa and Otis stand behind them. You lot are beloved by the WWE Universe. He calls the Heritage Cup the modern day Mona Lisa. Thank you. Who stole the cup? It was Tozawa. He stole it. John says, when will Lucid and Bronco get their shot at the tag titles? Is that OTM? I mean, they haven't been around very long, so they might have to just wait a little longer. But they're a serious tag team. They'll get their shot. Oh yeah. When it comes to the championship rounds, there are levels to this game. Take away the rest of metaphor from ringside and the cup would be mine. The bougie bully. The Lash legend just called herself the bougie bully. Otis just said whatever you say is good in my book. Oh, we've got all this going on. Oh, what's happening? Oh, my eyes! My eyes! Otis is flirting with Lash Legend. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Oh, my God. He is a player, man. He made moves on Mandy. He always comes walking out with hand in hand with Maxine. And now we're doing all that towards Lash Legend. Jeez. I might not want to see it, but I respect it. I can tell you that much. Shush, shush, please. Shush, please. Your name has become synonymous with the Heritage Cup. There's no one that can beat me. We did a global tournament just to find me an opponent. $1,000 shoes. I think I've got your next challenger right here. Otis. I see what's happening. I'm a giving champion. Next week. He's got a big gas tank that can go. This is like, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's got a big gas tank that can go. Oh, yeah. What, Otis? I love this guy. I didn't realize I loved him this much. They're not talking about Otis, though. It looks like Chad. What I don't get is he was all right with facing Otis. That was fine. And then once he found out it was Chad, he's devastated. That doesn't make much sense. He was thrilled, like, oh yeah, we can do it next week. Otis, oh god, that'll be easy. Not Chad. I don't know, man. But wouldn't it have made more sense that they teased the rematch with Tozawa, and then it turned out to be Chad? Like, it's weird, isn't it, making Otis out to be like a pushover? Oh, what, the big guy, the big guy that looks like a monster. Oh yeah, we can beat him. Not Chad. Hey, do you want to see this really cool figure set? We're going to jump to the chat. And that was a 10 out of 10 segment, says Triton. That was fun, says Big Time. Listen, whenever you see that there's going to be a Supernova Sessions, the expectation goes up because they were a lot of fun on NXT UK. Noam Dar has been entertaining for a long time, and Shah Samuels, who we used to do it with, was the perfect sidekick as well. Them two together were so much fun. Shah Samuels used to take bets. I used to be a bookie, like West End bookie, like, yeah, right, you know, we reckon give you odds of, like, you know, 12-1 that this is going to go this way, and like, you know, and they'd like bounce off each other really well. Like, Supernova Sessions is good. So I'm pleased that it's continuing to entertain. Yeah, I want to show you this looks. That's pretty sick, isn't it? A 3 faces of Foley 3-pack. Now, you have been able to get these all individually anyway, but that is a nice box. As boxes go, that's a pretty nice box, that is. I like the backgrounds. They're very good at their packaging. The backgrounds of each one being related to Mankind, Dude Love, and Cactus Jack is very, very good. Oh, and they actually come out as it. Oh, I didn't realize that. These are all individual boxes then, and then you pull them out, and then you get, there's your Mankind one. Look at that packaging with like the stitching and everything. That looks brilliant. That's the Cactus Jack one with the barbed wire, ringside exclusives. These, by the looks of it. And then Dude Love. It's bright, isn't it? Dude Love. Very good. This is what Mattel can do, man. They are... Oh, that's a great image, in it. That's a great image. Tell you what, if you're a Mick Foley fan, that is... Oh, look at the back. That is... that's a lovely little set, that is. That is a lovely little set. Looks like Logan's going to get this jacket as well, but a little Prime bottle. So, Logan, LA Knight. Good face cam. I think they've already done a few LA Knights. I don't know that they've done an Elite though. But yeah, it looks pretty good. There's the Seth, same head as well, and the new belt. I think that'll be the first appearance of this new belt. I don't know that it's appeared before. So, first appearance for that new title. There's the Bailey. She might come with this shirt. I'm guessing that's why they're showing it. Looks all right. Looks all right. Bit thin in the body. You know, not being disrespectful, but, like, doesn't quite look like that. But again, you know, it's just generic bodies, isn't it? Big Bronson. We have had some Bronsons before. I think so, okay. And I think that's where we got to. So we have seen them now. It took 3 commercial breaks, but we got there. 3 commercial breaks and we made it. Right, Roxanne is taking on Lash Legend. Did just see there was something there. Let's go down. Boom. King Yeti said, I'm way more scared of Chads. Well, King Yeti, I can only imagine you are a burner account for Noam Dar, because he reacted that way as well. Terrified he is of Chad. But Otis, no problems, mate. Beat him every day and twice on a Sunday. Will Smith is trending. Why is Will Smith trending? Will Smith, after opening up Twitter, it's heartbreaking to see his so-called best friend Will Smith. Even if me and my bestie had fallen out, I would never start a campaign to smear her. I don't know what's happening. Bit of controversy around Will Smith. Okay, Lash legend, Roxanne. Cedric. Callum said it's nutty, the Will Smith thing. Oh, I still haven't got my head around what it actually is. Something to do with him cheating on his wife. But, oh, hello. Jakara tripping over Roxanne. You're out of there! Na, 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. Jakara, oh, Roxanne rolls up Lash. Lash kicks out, though. I want to see Lash show out, actually. She ain't going to win. But we never get a chance to watch her wrestle. It's been a long time. She was like early NXT 2.0. Do you remember she used to have her own chat show thing? I think it was called Lashing Out. It was awful. She was awful. But she must have learnt something. She must have learnt something in all this time. Slam. Elbow drop by Lash, going for the cover. 1, 2. Kick out by Roxanne. Roxanne, you don't have to put on a red light. Roxanne. Slap coming in. James said you can't cheat on someone that you're technically not with anymore. Oh, James. I think you know a lot more about Will Smith's life than I do. Oh, hello. Torturer. Stretching out Roxanne. That's a nice little move, that is, you know. That could be a really good little finisher for her if she could get put people away with that. Roxanne, though, manages to get a guillotine. Forearm strike there by Roxanne. Lash hurling Roxanne into the corner. Could you imagine if Lash got the shock win? It won't happen. That would be wild. Like, getting a win over Roxanne, it would definitely mean something. Former women's champion. Suicide dive by Roxanne. She lands onto Lash Legends. We know that Roxanne Perez has developed a killer instinct. Do we? Roxanne is climbing up. Crossbody. Down goes Lash. Lash getting back up. Roxanne against the ropes again. Oh, it's a lovely move. That's a great move by Roxanne. Lash took that so well. Oh, she shouldn't have kicked out of that. She ended up planting Lash face first. She rolled under the legs and Lash went bang. It was done so well. I've got to give credit to Roxanne, but I've got to give credit to how Lash took that move. She could have felt like put her hands out to cushion the blow. She just went boom, bang. She took that bump. That was great. That was really great. Cartwheel. Oh. Yeah, man. We're seeing a little more out of Double L. Double L. Left Larrett is Jakara. Now, big boot by Lash. Kiana grabbed Roxanne's arm. Oh my God, is Lash gonna do this? Oh man, this would be awesome. This would be brilliant. I was so like, nah, she ain't gonna do it. No way. Didn't see the idea of Kiana getting involved. Lash, 1, 2, 3. Brilliant. Brilliant. That is brilliant. Never predicted it. Never saw it coming. Unpredictable. Super, like, yeah, Roxanne's got this. It's Roxanne Perez. She's going to win it. You've protected her because it's Kiana's fault. But that is brilliant. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Lash Legend has qualified. Roxanne has been robbed. Roxanne can now feud with Kiana. If they don't have any plans for Roxanne to be around the title at the moment, there's not really a need for her to be in that Iron Challenge match because she ain't going to win it. So, yeah, why not make the feud with Kiana more juicy? Didn't see that coming. Total blindside. Love it. Roxanne can continue feuding with Kiana, and I'm sure she'll get a title shot next year. But as we said, if there's no plans for her to win that Iron Survivor Challenge match, doesn't really matter if she's in it or not. Then. We got a lot of tag teams backstage. Yeah, I like this girl. Is she actually signed? She's been around, like, with them on and off. I don't know much about her. Is she, like, a wrestler, or does she just come in and to be, like, a valet? So the family have arrived with this girl that handed them documents over to chase you the other week. Hey, fellas! We gotta celebrate with the family, huh? It's that, like, Italian New York accent. You, like, hear her talk and you're pretty sure you're going to wake up with a horse's head in your bed the next morning. There's Robbie Brooksides. Oh, they're talking to Lyra. You are invited to a Warriors tea ceremony. I got told about this. Triple T told me she got invited to a tea party. Well, there we go. Tate and Paxley worked the main event last night with Katana Chance. Mr. Quake said it's a character. They've got to talk like that, as we know. But I am not kidding. I could travel, turn them all on, and jump back. Why so much Zaya? That's a good question. She's everywhere. People keep saying NXT is good, but I've not seen anything good tonight, says Wisp. Well, I think the fact that Lash Legends weren't a match that we completely thought she was just there to get buried in. Just thought she was a warm body for Roxanne to beat. That swerve I did not see coming. I thought that move as well, where she planted Lash face first, I thought that was really good. I thought the match was okay. I didn't think there was any great shakes, but I thought it was okay. But I loved the results. Supernova sessions, I thought was entertaining. I love the Otis stuff in there. And which you expect from, like, it's Alpha Academy, you know? They're going to do that kind of comedy. They did it on Raw. And as we said, if it's like people that are, you know, one group that are going to do it, and they did it on Raw, and now they're doing it here on NXT, can take it. It's different for me when it's like all over AEW. We're not seeing a lot of that silly comedy all over NXT. It's just Alpha Academy. And they were the same people that did that segment on Raw as well. So I can take it from them. And the opening match was, yeah, I mean, we got a title change. I agree that opening match was so-so. It didn't really grab me. I think it was too distracting, all the stuff that was happening outside of the ring. But I suppose, you know, it'll be interesting to see what that investigation results in. So I don't think this has been a bad show. I think it's been all right. I think it's been good in places. Is it worthy of the hype that NXT receives? I think that's a collective, isn't it? More so than just like an individual episode. I think there is a lot of hype around NXT. There's been a lot of big names that have come down, Becky, and there's been a lot of big moments recently. I think if you sit and watch an episode, they're all right. They're all right. They're not going to stink the place out. They're all right. There's going to be moments that are good. But yeah, I would agree. They're not consistently mind-blowing. They're not consistently like, oh my God, these are just incredible. Wow. You know, it's not like, I don't know, Raw during the Attitude Era where it felt like it was unmissable, right? I would agree that NXT isn't quite delivering that at the moment. But I think there's some good moments there. It is nice that they're trying to build up Xia and give her more screen time. I can't see her beating Becky or Lyra. If Becky is going to be the fourth woman for War Games, then she shouldn't lose, says Brony. The show's cool so far, said Intoxicated Drums. Gigi gets me to Super Coup, so I want to see her. I don't know what Super Cooing is. We're looking at WrestleMania week, so SmackDown and Hall of Fame on the Friday. Stand and Deliver on the Saturday. I hate when they do that. Raw on the Monday. That means that we're going to do Stand and Deliver earlier on the Saturday, and then we've got NXT later on the Saturday. Stop doing that. Stop. Please. Can't you move it to the Thursday? Can't we do NXT on the Thursday, and then we do SmackDown and Hall of Fame on the Friday, and then we just do WrestleMania on Saturday, Sunday? Rather than watching a 2-hour show followed by a 3-hour WrestleMania and a 2-hour kickoff show. Stop it. Oh, hello, here's the tea party. Welcome, Lyra. Oh no, look at Lyra in her little skirt. Don't trust her, Lyra. That's probably like an assassin's teapot. Tea party. It's tradition. The royal tea ceremony is very important. Trash the place. That's what I would do. Is this tradition, is it? Is this tradition? Ah, bang! Break it down. Dun, 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 dun. Stone Cold wouldn't put on the little jacket, would he? What? He'd tell him where you can shove your tradition. Not sit down and have flipping tea. I want to be noticed. Lyra said you've definitely accomplished that. I'm going to challenge you to the NXT Women's Championship. We must choose the correct leaves for consumption. I'd be like, have you not got an espresso machine anywhere? I don't want all this leaves and whatever. Don't trust it. Have you got the little mocha capsules? Pop them in. This represents what's happened to us. They've spent some money on this set, ain't they, eh? Spent a bit of money here. The leaves are more delicate than... What am I watching? What's this? What's going on? Trash the place, Lyra! Trash it! Burn it down! A lot of that fabric would just go up, man. Throw it in her face. Do something. Someone do something. I'm just watching two boomers drink tea. NXT. Respectfully, I will not drink your tea. If you don't drink the tea, I'll show no remorse. I think your tea sucks. You got stupid tea. Yeah. It's gone off. They bow at each other. She grabs her title. Gotta take that thing off. That's not yours to keep, whatever you've put on. Give her a thing back, thief. Lyra's gone walking out while still wearing the white thing she got given. That wasn't a gift. That sucked. I saw two women drinking tea, and one of them didn't want to drink the tea. There was no fire. There was no violence. What I will say, though, is that they didn't burst out into song and dance. Gotta give them that, ain't you? Do you know what I mean? Can't give them that. Who had the better tea party? Zaya and Lyra or Santino and Sheamus? One of them was funny. One of them was actually a tea party. I don't think it's there's no contest. Mitchell said, that was honestly probably the best segment I've ever seen in my life. Mitchell, shout out to you. But Mitchell has always been known to be really into his tea. He flipping loves it. He loves it. He sent me pictures of him naked, just like drenching it all down himself. Like, yeah. Ooh. So I could imagine that appealing to you. We're backstage with the Mellow Trick Gang. Trick Mellow Gang. And again, look, Carmelo with his moody face. As soon as Trick walks away, he's got moody face. Moody, man. He's moody. I tell you what, Trick should watch some of these episodes back because some of these little looks that Mello gives once he walks off or when they were hugging and whatever, it certainly suggests that things aren't rosy in the garden. Serious Gaming said you've got to get it on the nips. That's the most sensitive part, isn't it? You really wanna massage it in. The tea party was crazy, says Hacker tomorrow. It was crazy. Wes said you drink the tea and then you flip the table. I mean, it's funny though, because whenever we watch a contract signing, we're always like, oh, you know what happens at a contract signing. To be honest, I don't know what happens at a tea party. Now we know. Nothing. Flipping nothing. That's what happens. It's going to be a tea party segment. Oh, you know what that means. They're going to drink tea. You know what that means. Oh, nothing interesting's going to happen. Contract signing. Big fight. Big brawl. Someone's going through the table. Maybe stabbed with the pen. But tea party. Nothing's going to happen. They're going to drink tea. It's just going to be very passive-aggressive. They should have guzzled that tea down like Stone Cold. That would have been good. Juan said sometimes there's suspense when it ends, but not all the time. Do you drink tea or coffee? I drink coffee. I need that caffeine. My body clock's every kind of messed up. And even though I stream all the time at night, it still doesn't mean my body clock is ever quite right, you know? I think part of the problem is that I'm always going to bed at different times. Sometimes it might be 10 in the morning. Sometimes it might be 12. Sometimes it might be 1. I'm always like, I'm never consistent with going to bed at the exact same time, which means I'm never consistent with waking up at the same time. It's always just slightly out, depending on what I'm doing, you know? So I need that caffeine, baby. Can't be drinking tea. What do I do with that? A tea party is like AEW. Nothing's going to happen, said Travis. But why would they do that? I thought England's drink tea, said Mr. Quake. Coffee is more popular here now, apparently. The English people drink more coffee than tea now. We're known for drinking tea because historically we did, but I think a lot of people around the world are very, very similar. I think it's a case that, yeah, I think a lot of people are the same now. You want that, you need that caffeine. Back in the day, people used to work hard, and oh god, I just need to relax. I just need to have a cup of tea. Like, you would have a tea to relax. Now, people are having coffee to get through work, get through the day. Oh my god, so much pressure, anxiety, tension. Coffee probably makes it all worse, but gives you that caffeine boost, doesn't it? Whereas before, people would end work, come home and have tea. I don't know what they're coming home and having now, actually. Maybe, I mean, still a lot of tea gets drunk, but there is more coffee now. I drink coffee. It's a shame. Feel like I have abandoned part of my culture. I still eat fish and chips, though, so, you know, not everything's lost. And I still hate the French. I like tea, but I don't want to watch people drinking tea on a wrestling show, says James. It's a fair point, James. I've really got no argument with that. Here's Arianna Grace. We've got loads of women. Kiana, Gigi, women I don't know the name of. I think one might be Danny Palmer. I've got tons of experience helping the less fortunate. It's not enough bucket hats, you know, in NXT. Best spear in the business. Bron Breaker's here. He looks bigger. He looks bigger. I like him in a vest top. He's got a very, very sharp trim, hasn't he? Look at that. Look at the facial hair. That is razor sharp. Dijack's here. You've got some nerve coming in here and interrupting me. You don't want me in the Iron Survivor Challenge, says Brom. Dijack said, I'm the one guy that does. Love that for him. Love that. These two are heels, though, aren't they? I will have you begging for retribution. Do you know what? He used to be in a group called Retribution. That's why everyone was like, oh, man, he just said the words. Everyone was like, he just said the words. You can't say that word around him. He's got PTSD. Trick. that trick. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. He's a star, man. Do you know what? We've watched him blossom. He's like a flower. He can talk. He can wrestle. He looks like $1 million. To the moon for Trick Williams. Didn't know how he was going to emerge out of Carmelo's shadow, but emerge he is. He's even got this whoop that trick chant as well, which, I mean, that's just going to do him in such good stead. Whoop that trick. He looks great. Mitchell said Zaya's shirt should say best tea in the business. Yes. Very good. You could, honestly, you could have a sick shirt of Zaya with, like, the tea, like, pouring the tea, like, quite dark. And, like, you know, she's kind of, like, looking menacingly like that. You could actually do a sick design of a shirt with some, like, Chinese kind of imagery in the background. Something like that. It could look a really great design. Be cool. It'd certainly be cooler than the segment I had to watch. It wasn't bad. It was just dull. It just didn't go anywhere. Right. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick chance. Oh yeah, says they. Trick. Why wouldn't we be? Trick will have a better career than Mello. I've said it, says Max. Do you know, I honestly don't know. I don't know. There's so many factors that go into it. You don't know what they're like as, like, backstage personnel. You never quite know who the crowd are going to take to. It depends on their creative as well. I mean, someone could have a creative story that's just so good that just, like, really grabs people's attention. The other one might get put in kinky gladiator like attire like Carrion, might just get buried. So there's just so many factors that are at play. But one way or another, the cream should rise to the top. So NXT has definitely got some great talent. I don't know what Trick's wearing, but I don't like it. The arm thing, I don't like it. Are they arm sleeves? I think they're bits of fabric on the backside of his arm. It looks like tape. Looks like he's put, like, tape just down the back outside of his arm, but it's not. It's like, they're like arm sleeves, I think. I can't tell if the front part is see-through or if it's just not there. I mean, I'm fascinated by them. They look strange. Don't know why you would have them. Never seen anything like them before. I mean, what I will say is they're plain black. I'm really pleased they haven't got writing on, because that would look too busy. Oh, God, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about them anymore. I didn't like them, but the more I'm looking at them, I'm like, well, they're not really offensive, but they're just weird. They're just weird. It's the kind of thing Seth would wear. Just weird. They're weird. They're sleeves to prevent mat burn. Football players wear them. He wears it for the look, but they do serve a purpose. So he needs to grow up. No one else wears them. So if he's wearing them because he's worried about burning his elbows, no other wrestlers wore them. So he needs to grow up. If he's wearing them for that, grow a pair. If he's wearing them because he thinks they look good, I'm still not sure they do. Well, I appreciate, Mitchell, you telling me what they are for, because I have never seen them before. I'm a bit confused by them. And it's got me all kinds of confused. My first reaction is, oh, I don't like them. And then the more I look at them, I'm like, well, why don't you like them? And I think it's just because I haven't seen them before and I'm scared of change. And they might be growing on me, but I'm still... If I was to vote, I'd say I don't like them. Let's do a poll. Do you like the arm things? Do you like the arm things? Would you keep them or get rid of them? Don't know. I think I'm leaning towards I don't like them, but we'll see what people think. Fun little poll. Quick little fun poll. Threw it out there, innit? And halftime scores, everybody. It's the halftime scores. I really want to know your halftime scores. Put it in the chat. Halftime scores, everybody. It's the halftime scores. Are you happy? It's the halftime scores. Are you happy or you sad? Halftime scores, everybody. It's the halftime scores. I should get that recorded. If I got it recorded, I could just press play then. Just sit here like this. Let's get in the scores. 8.5 said Mr. Quake. 4 says Marty. 6.28 said Ruby. 7 said John. Charles said 6.75. Trey said 6.5. Q the Light Knight said I'd use arm pads and knee pads. Yep, that is the usual procedure. Kieran said 6.5. Callum said 6. Ethan said what arm things? Trick's got this, like, the top part goes around the top of his bicep, and then it's like a strip of fabric that goes down here, and then he's got it round his wrist. So there's nothing on this side of his arm. And on that side, it's black fabric, and it runs, like, all the way down. Nothing on the front, but, like, a strip of fabric on the back. I've just never seen it before. I've never seen someone wearing something like that before. Or maybe I have, but they had tassels on or something. I don't know. It just stood out to me, and I was like, what's he wearing that for? At first, I honestly thought it was tape. I thought it was tape, but it's not. He's wearing it as a fashion statement. It's a fashion statement. But I'm confused as to whether I like it or not, so I'm asking you lot what you think. 6.28 said Ribby. Carol said, Daze, what's the next pay-per-view you prefer? Arena or CWC? I like arenas. People are tired seeing Chase U crowd sections. Are you bored of it? Yes and no. I think you need to do something with them. So I'm fine with them being there, but I can never look at that and go, oh, I know who that is. I know who that is. I know who that is. Or, you know, if they were taking notes and we did like a follow-up thing where we got to hear their thoughts, like in a backstage classroom segment or something. Like, we could really do some fun stuff with it or do something interesting with it. Maybe one of the students could notice all the wrong things Andre Chase did. Or something like that. They're nothing more than just cheerleaders that we never see or hear from or really do anything with. So other than that aspect of it, I think there was more we could do. So I would keep them around and I would look to see how more we could use them. But if people want to get rid of it, it ain't no big drama. John said 7. Charles said 6.75. Trey said 6.5. Draco said 6.5. Mr. Quake says Daze broke the fourth wall. Killed it. It's gone. Brechtian, that is. Brechtian theatre. Kieran said 6.5. Callum said 6. Alex Bliss Gamer said 7. Terry said 6.7. Shakeem said 6.75. Cameron, shout out to you, bud, says Taker only has 1 5-star match, whilst HBK has 2. Yeah, I mean, well, that is according to Dave Meltzer, which, you know, famously is not the biggest WWE fan. So you have to kind of take that with a pinch of salt. What I would say, though, is that's obviously a sad thing that they've not got many 5-star matches. But what I would say is that means whenever there is a 5-star match that Meltzer gives, it feels like a massive deal. Because we know, I don't think Kurt has got any. And Undertaker's got 1, Shawn's got 2. So if, like, you know, he gives Gunther 5 stars or something, I mean, it really is a big deal. So it kind of works both ways. You can look at it like, nah, they definitely should have more than that. Or you could look at it as, well, when he does give 5 stars, that's a big deal. So, Cameron, shout out to you. Mia Nissim says 7. Debosa 725. James said 625. Michael, shout out to you. Anthony with a 10. Dark Angel said 2 cups of tea out of 4 cup pots. Usi Juicy 8.55. Serious Gaming said 6. Anthony with a 10. Danny D with a 5. We're still underway with this Trick Joe match. It has flown, actually. It has flown. Trick collides into Joe. Do you know who Xia Li hates? Joe Coffey. Because she prefers tea. That's a wrestling joke. And it's not very funny. Cameron said, I'm going to keep doing these until I run out. Keep doing what, buds? You don't need to keep super chatting. Feel free to share your thoughts in the chat as usual, as normal. But I appreciate the support. Kick out by Joe Coffey. Shot there by Trick. Wolfgang getting up. Oh, Carmelo grabbing the leg. He pulls Wolfgang out the way. Trick came over. Mistimed it. He's on the outside. Carmelo moves out the way as Joe Coffey collides into him. Is he going to not qualify because of Mello? But not really because of Mello. Coffey in the corner. Collides into Trick. Man, no, I don't want this one. I want Trick to make it. Shoulder up. Capper Owen said Daze random. But can you guess what wrestler this is? Tiffany Stratton. No time limit, no rewards. Tiffany Stratton. Trick's done it. Whoop that Trick. Whoop that Trick. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. He did it. Uranagi. Boom. 1, 2. Kick out. I didn't see what he actually put him away with. Trick Williams qualifies. I mean, Carmelo, I think, was sort of helping there, to be honest. I mean, he did pull the leg. Granted, he waited and then pulled it as soon as Trick came close. So you can, it's a grey area. Knee strike by Trick. Whoop that Trick. There we go. Trick Williams survives. So Trick and Dijak have both qualified. Backstage with Wes Lee. Whoa, Ilya's here. Ilya Dragunov. I'm glad I caught you. Congrats. Thank you. Welcome back. I needed some time off. Water under the bridge. I will take a close look tonight. But leave me a piece of Corbin. Okay. Got some other things in mind. Cameron said John Laurinaitis' people power has more 5-star matches than Cena with only 2 due to his New Japan run. Steve Austin has more than The Rock with 2, says Cameron. Cameron, shout out to you. Brawling Brutes. Brawling Brutes. Did I know these were on the show? I don't even know if I did, to be honest. Brawling Brutes. Who are they facing? OTM. I missed this. I didn't even know this was happening. The Brutes are here. Butch and Ridge. Let's go. Mitchell said, can I ask a question? How would Chase U work on the main roster? Their gimmick is already being done by Alpha Academy. Surely the two could feud, which would be fun, but what after that? Yeah, to be honest, you might want to just put them on a different brand. You could have Alpha Academy on Raw. You could have Chase U over on SmackDown. So, you know, a little bit like when we had Riot Squad and Absolution both come up. They were 2 women's groups that were similar, but we just put them on different brands. Carol said, which next NXT pay-per-view do you prefer? Oh, I answered that. We spoke about the Chase U thing. Yeah, I like arenas as well. I prefer them in arenas. I think you do your weekly shows in the Performance Center. So, yeah, arenas. Cameron says, Gunther has the most 5-star matches in WWE right now. You're loving this, the Dave Meltzer star ratings, aren't you? I think, to be honest, a lot of people did put value into them, but I think that has really waned since AEW came along, because he's just gone so crazy with giving AEW like loads of 5-star matches. It has had a negative effect now where people are like, it doesn't mean anything. You know, he's giving matches which I don't even think AEW fans would say were 5 stars. I think they would say excellent match, really good, but I don't think they would. 5 stars used to really mean something, and now Meltzer just hands them out like candy. Certainly into AEW, and I think that now means that a lot of people just don't. It's a nice reference. It's nice to kind of look back and see. I've said before, I think there is value in someone that's been watching since the mid-80s or scoring since the mid-80s, because you can get scores for WrestleMania 1, that was 85. So I think there is real value in someone that's watched all that time, that has scored all the big WWE shows, AEW. I don't know if he did TNA. I genuinely don't know. New Japan, of course. Like AAA, you know, the same guy has watched all this. And he's gone, oh, I think that's that, I think that's that. And you can disagree with him, absolutely, and everyone would over something. But I think there is value in the fact that there is someone out there that has done that kind of work. But I think it has kind of lost its appeal now. I think that, like, I don't look for his ratings on WWE shows anymore. I used to. I don't do it anymore because I just don't agree with. There's enough that I've seen from him that I don't agree with, that to the point now where it's become irrelevant. But it doesn't. If you're getting into wrestling, I think the fact that there's anyone can tell you the difference between a great match and an awful match. And to be honest, there ain't many people out there that have done that work. There ain't many people out there that have gone back through all these old pay-per-views that can tell you this is a 4 5-star match, this is a 1-star match. So even if you think Summer should have been a 5 rather than a 4.25, or it was a 3 rather than a 2, those little variations, those little changes, whatever. But if you're a casual fan and you want to know, is there anything at WrestleMania 5 that's worth my time? You can quickly look and see, is there anything that's a 4-star or above? And whether it was right or wrong, it's probably not going to be out by loads. I say that, sometimes they are, but I think there is value in that. But as someone that watches the shows now anyway, and someone, I don't class myself as a casual. I don't need it. I don't need it. Cameron said, Ospreay has got 35-star matches. That's more than Kenny. Cameron, shout out to you. Here's Lexus. He says, good luck and enjoy the spotlight to Baron Corbin. Lexus King says, I'll be watching. I would like a live promo from Lexus King. He had some backlash from last week. So it'd be good for him to come out, grab the mic and show that, yeah, I can do this. Here's OTM. With scripts. Out the mud. Chris said, what if WWE is pulling a swerve at Survivor Series after Randy is known to be on Team Cody? A member of Team Cody gets injured, setting up Punk's return at Survivor Series. That would be awesome. Yeah, but you would need Punk to be coming back, and the belief is that he's not. That's the biggest problem. There's loads of ways that you could get him onto the show. The problem is the belief is that he's not going to be on the show. Butch goes against the ropes, back elbow. I still don't know the names of these two. I know one is Nima, one is Price, but I don't know which is which. Although, thankfully, I think that does say Price down the side of his ring gear, so I think it's Price that's in the ring right now with Butch. Where are we time-wise? We've got 36 minutes to go. Ike says, Daze, if you remember Payback 2017, Braun attacked Roman and people were chanting, thank you, Strowman. Did the fans really enjoy it? Was Roman a face or a heel? He was a face, but people were tired. He was a face that was being shoved down our throats, and people had just had that with Cena and they didn't want it again. I mean, don't forget, even Cena had Let's Go Cena. Cena sucks. There was people that were split on Cena. You know, the people want to choose who they want. They don't want someone to be chosen for them. We don't want to, you know, the fans want to feel like they're involved. They don't want to feel like they're just watching. They want to feel like, you know, we like this guy. Let's get behind him. We can get him to be champion, you know. We're seeing that with LA Knight, for example. LA Knight wasn't supposed to be in the situation he's in, but it's the fans that have got him there. And that's that power that the fans possess is something that they really treasure. It's, you know, they can influence things by not going, but they would much rather go and be vocal and see the person they like getting pushed. So, yeah, no, he wasn't a heel. He was a face, and people were tired of him. They didn't want him. They didn't want him getting pushed. They didn't want another John Cena. He wasn't the person they wanted. So, yeah, he was not really the people's choice. Drive-by there by Scripps. So it was a case that they were thankful of Strowman doing that. But when Roman turned heel, well, that's what they wanted, and so the people were happy. Weird, innit? Back in the day, it was a lot simpler. If you was a heel, people hated you. If you're a face, people loved you. Wrestling's a bit more complicated than that now. Bit more complicated. You can. I love Gunther, and he's a heel, but I love him because he's so good, and also very respectful of wrestling. He's all about. Do you know what I mean? Like, the ring is sacred and all that, and I love that. I love the respect he shows to wrestling. It's actually a very face thing for him to do. His actions don't always back that up, though. We've seen Imperium helping him win. That's not really respectful. But I love, you know, and he has banging matches as well, as Cameron has just told us. more than anyone else. Cameron said, keep up the work on the channel. Cameron, shout out to you, but I really appreciate the support, dudes. Dropping in your Dave Meltzer 5-star facts. Over in the corner goes Price. And again, only know that because of his ring gear. Crossbody by Ridge. Scooping up Price, looking to plant him down, and he does. 1, 2, shoulder up. There's people on Twitter who despised Drew until Raw last night, said James. Here we go. Charging over. Kick coming in there by Price. Ridge gets picked up, slammed down, planted down. Kick coming in there by Butch. Price slams Butch on top of Ridge. Butch down, Ridge goes out the ring. In comes Nima. Butch on his own, knee to the midsection. 1, 2, kick out by Butch. OTM working well together. Scripps is still a bit weird to be with them. I'm still not totally sold on that, but it's a hell of a lot better than what they were doing before. Big boot coming in there by Butch. Butch to the outside. It's probably the best use we've done of Scripps, in all fairness. Shots coming in by Nima. Butch working on the arm, joint manipulation with the fingers, cracking the fingers. Butch goes over into a powerbomb position. Ridge comes up, tags made. Ridge is in the ring. Butch goes over to the other side, moonsaults onto Scripps and Price. Ridge looking for a powerbomb, gets it. Tags made. In comes Butch. These two looking to put Nima away. Butch for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Brawling Brutes. Brawling Brutes win. Is Tiffany wrestling tonight? I don't believe so. She wrestled last week. And so I don't believe so. Isn't joint manipulation technically illegal? I swear I saw that rule somewhere. Don't think so. No, I'm not aware of that as a rule. Here's Joe Gacy. I'm like a ghost wandering the halls of NXT. I can feel the energy. He's on the roof. I'm me. No one knows me. I'm me. I'm here right now. So some of that stuff I liked, actually. I love the line, people are trying to put me in occupied spaces. I love that. Because a lot of people, myself included, have said, you know, he is the next Bray. And, you know, him saying, like, people are trying to put me in occupied spaces. Like, how can he be the next Bray when we did have Bray? And Bray has already done his thing. Like, Gacy can't be a poor tribute, you know? He's got to be himself. I like that. But looking at him on the roof, looking at the promo he just cut, looking at the, like, flannel type jacket he was wearing, the fact he threw the camera off the roof as well. I was watching that, I was going, oh God, please don't do a Darby Allin gimmick. He's talking of letting go and all this kind of stuff, and I was like, oh God, don't start like jumping off roofs or something. Don't do that. I still want you to be that kind of darker character, you know? He's a bit unhinged. I don't know where it's going. I don't know where that's going. I'm intrigued by it, though. But I don't know where it's going. Don't ask me. I don't know. What's happening with Gacy? I don't know. I don't think he knows. They can't be doing these suicide things. Not the first time. Was he really going to jump, says Hacker tomorrow? I don't think so. I think he was just on the roof like, you know, I'm unhinged or whatever. If he was going to jump off, I would imagine he would do it as like a daredevil. I'm going to land on that car. I'm going to land in that flower bed. Not to kill himself. I didn't think it was a suicide thing. I thought it was a... I don't know. I just thought he's on the roof. My natural instinct is he going to jump off? You know. But he didn't. He threw the camera off. We went off the roof. Woo! we went flying down to the ground. Oh, I was very scared. I was very scared. Gigi is back, said George. Arianna Grace for women's champion. What will they do with Ava? Oh well, she went into the office, didn't she? That was interesting. She went in to see Sean. I like them together though. I like them. I think they were good. Ava on her own, I'm a bit worried about. Don't think she's ready to be on her own. Think she still needs to be with someone. Maybe he's just smart. He broke his phone on work property so he could get free upgrades. Genius. Genius. Have you had an accident at work? Big Time said, has there only been one PIP tonight for NXT, just as breaks back to back? Where has there only been one? So PIP, picture in picture, for NXT. See, this is where I don't know, because I don't get picture in picture. Don't get it. I just go straight to commercial. You lot are still watching stuff? I can't even see it. I've got 353 action figures, said Justin. Very good. Very good. That's a lot. That is a lot. Warrior Tea ceremony was a unique experience. That's true. But next week, it's not about tea. It's about NXT's women's title. Zaya has been knocking out everyone, but she won't be able to KO me. Hashtag and still. Here is Arianna Grace then. Few jeers and boos. Okay, so Gigi versus Arianna. Okay. Oh, she's got a knee brace on. Big pink thing. Okay, they lock up. This won't be long, will it? What's that main event going to be? Oh, Wes Lee Baron, I think, is that other one. Wes Lee Baron is probably our main event. Gigi, giving one of them. Crowd are a bit quiet for this. I know a lot of people like Gigi, but she's just cold for me. She was good with Toxic Attraction. I think she struggled when she's gone out on her own. I think Gacy struggled since she went out on her own as well. Arianna Grace trying to get back up to her feet. I love Gigi's indie days, said Intoxicated Drums. They could have given her a knee gold brace, says Mitchell. They could have done that. She is cute, though, said Cute the Light Night. Wes Lee versus Dominic. Here we go. She's getting Gigi. Arianna hurling Gigi into the corner. Back elbow there by Arianna. Looking for a suplex. Gets it. Going for the cover. Kick out. Is Legado face or heel now? Who? Legado del Fantasma? Legado? If that's what we're talking about, then... well, it's only Santos that broke away, wasn't it? Because the other members were checking on Ray. So at the moment, it's just Santos on his own. And it was a heel turn, but he could apologize on Friday and try and find his way back in. But it's probably not going to happen, to be honest. I think it was too big of an incident to kind of come back from. So I think he's done. I think he's out. So I'm taking it as a heel turn, and he's going to stay a heel. What is going to be interesting is Zelina going to join up with him? Is Phoenix? Is it Phoenix? Whack him, Wilds. Wilds. Is Wilds going to join up with him? Del Toro going to join up with him? I've got a real blank spot when it comes to the names of Del Toro and Wilds. I don't know why. I really don't know why. I don't know why I just cannot ever remember their names. I really struggle with that. I think it must just because we just never see them. We see them, but we never have to talk about them. So they might as well just not exist. Kick out by Arianna Grace. Fat bottom girls make the rockin' world go round, says Wes. Breaking news. Dark Angel said, Arianna Grace is okay, but she's nothing compared to Aunt Santina. Kick coming in there by Gigi. Dolin planting Arianna Grace and gets the win. It's a victory for Gigi Dolin. Here is your winner. It's a dude in a sombrero that's like not feeling it. Giving a thumbs down. I think he wanted Arianna. Cruz Del Toro and whacking Wild, says Drew McIntyre. I just can't remember him. Don't know why. Whacking Wild is the bestest NLWO member, said Justin. He's the bestest. Gigi doing a bit of mocking as Arianna Grace is trying to put I love that. She puts the crown on the sash. She's like, I'm still the queen. I'm still the best. That was fun. That moment was better than the match. On November 14th, 2001, I was born at the Franciscan Hospital in downtown Hammond, Indiana, United States of America. I can't believe I'm 22 years old, says Carmen Light. Well, happy birthday for yesterday. Well, today. It's yesterday here in the UK, but today in Hammond, Indiana. So, Carmen Live 2, happy birthday. And I don't know if Carmen Live 1 was also born today, but please pass on my best wishes to Carmen Live 1 as well. So, Carmen Live 2, happy birthday, bud. From England to Hammond, Indiana, United States. I hope you had a good day. That's Santino's daughter. Have some damn respect, says A. Jobson. Maggie said, I feel the same about Drew. I think he's better on his own. Oh, we're still doing the arm thing? We can end that now. We don't need to ask that anymore. The arm thing. Yeah, it is a video package of Vaughn and Mr. Stone. 60% say yes, 40% say no. 161. So it's a thumbs up. We're gonna let him wear it again. We'll see how we feel next time. And Robert Stone, and it's been pretty awful. Do you remember last week when he lost the match and put him through the table and acted like he'd won? You did it! You did it! No, he didn't. He lost. Do wins and losses not matter anymore? Together. Look how far they've come. They're both losers. So emotional. Don't worry about it. Are you all right? He's rubbing his head. That'd be good. Imagine if, like, because of the head trauma, he just sort of, like, loses himself momentarily. That would be good. If it led to that, I'll take back everything I just said. It's just not a good promo, is he? Talking about asparagus. Not even lying. Here's Wes Lee. Talking of asparagus, here's Wes Lee. Here is Baron Corbin. Main event coming up. How long we got left? 16 minutes. There'll be an overrun. You lot always forget about the overrun. There's going to be an overrun. SmackDown, Hall of Fame, NXT Stand and Deliver. On the same day as WrestleMania Night 1. So that means that we have to stay up late to cover the Hall of Fame. We then go to bed and we have to get up so that we can do NXT Stand and Deliver. And then we go, I can't remember if we go straight over to WrestleMania. I think we tend to do them as two separate streams. I think we do them as two separate streams. I can't remember. Maybe we just this year do it all as one stream. We just start with NXT Stand and Deliver and we just go. Although saying that, I don't think I can because I think what tends to happen is NXT ends and then I think we pretty much immediately start our our WrestleMania stream. And I think we have to do that because it's rubbish. If you try to change a thumbnail on a stream that you are already streaming, a lot of people still see the old thumbnail. So that would mean that we're streaming WrestleMania watch along and the whole thing will still look like it's NXT. So it's probably best we avoid that confusion. And we'll set up a WrestleMania stream. We'll set up a Stand and Deliver stream. But either way, it's going to be a busy day. It's going to be a full day. I need to get training on my cardio. Ready. Asparagus is okay, said Sonny. You did separate streams last year, says James. Thank you, James. I thought so, because the reason why, to be honest, I would just do it as one stream, but that's the reason why I don't, because I've done streams before where we try and change the thumbnail mid-stream, which is easy to do, but it's just a load of people still see the old thumbnail. That's a problem. I've never tried asparagus, says Mitchell. I look at all this NXT talent and it's hard to believe they're going to be big on the main roster, says Brony. Do a dual thumbnail, said 27. Yeah, the only problem with the dual thumbnail is it lacks impact. Do you know what I mean? You really want to be putting on like all the big names that we're going to be watching, and if you've only got half the space to play with because you've got NXT on that, it's a nice idea, but it's just going to lack the impact. I don't think I'm going to watch NXT Stand and Deliver, says Brony, during WrestleMania. It's just too much wrestling. I do wish it was a different day, but they have been doing this for the past few years, so mentally I've accepted it. I've accepted it. Big Time said, I might be in the minority, but I'm not impressed by Lexis King. No, you're not. You're not in the minority. There was a lot of shade that was being thrown at him last week. It's not necessarily the booking, but the mannerisms. It's just being a bit cheesy. It's a bit over the top thoughts. My thoughts are that I'm not massively impressed with what I've seen so far. I think it is very early. Is it too early for first impressions, though? I don't think so. First impressions are first impressions, aren't they? And I'd say the first impressions haven't been good. So, are we saying that he's not going to make it work? Are we saying there can't be changes? Are we saying that he's done and he's buried and all that? No, we're not saying any of that. Settle down. Listen. Yeah, I know many of you are level-headed, but there's a few of you out there get a little upset. Not saying anything other than first impressions haven't been brilliant. And as I said, I'd like to have seen him come out and cut a promo this week in the ring. Just to show I can do this. I made the comparison before. Britt Baker came out and did a rubbish promo. It was awful. It was on the Cruiser Jericho. She came out and did this promo and it was rubbish. And everyone was like, God, what was that? And then next week she came out, did a live promo. It was fantastic. It was brilliant. Loads of passion, just really coming in with some zingers. And it was like, man, she couldn't do this. It was good. I think Lexis King, if he was to come out this week and do that, it would just change the perception. Like, oh, actually, no, that was just a bad week. He couldn't do it. Look at it. That was good. But we haven't done that, unfortunately. We have seen him backstage. I'd like to have seen a bit more than that. So, yeah, a bit early to say. We'll see kind of how, what else we do. But at the moment, I'd say there's probably a few little tweaks that we could make to it. Here's Eddie Thorpe, Charlie Dempsey, Drew Gulak, Miles Bourne. I'm going to stretch you out in that ring, says Charlie. You've never stepped in the ring with people like us. We'll see about that, says Eddie. Oh, hello. Look, we've got reporters and everything. He's got no further comment right now. Here's JC. What do you think he's been doing? What do you think he's been doing? I heard he's been putting his PP in all the Chase U vagines. That's what I heard. But he's been abusing his power. How do you think Thea Hale got to be the one that got to go out there with the megaphone? I don't know if that's true. I don't know. That's all I've heard. That's all I've heard. Normally, these things have got something to do with sex, to be honest. I can only think he's abused his position. He needs to go. He needs to go. Well, we need an investigation. and whatever the findings, he needs to go. I'm very uncomfortable with it all. As long as he's not been abusing his underage students. Well, I think you've got to be of a certain age. I mean, you've got to be like 18 anyway to join up. In America, it's 21, innit? It ain't 21 over here in the UK. Do you know what I mean? If I was in America, would I be allowed to get with 18-year-olds? Because I'm British. It's not illegal over here. Is it? Is it illegal over here? Guys, I just need to Google something quickly. And law in the UK. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. But he's American. It's not fine for him. It's not fine for him. Shut it down. Chase you. It's a flipping facility of filth. Mitchell said, I'm truly sad that the big boss man is not with us anymore. He would be my pick to lead the investigation. I didn't know where that was going. I was like, dude, he passed away a while ago. This is random. But very good. Yes. Oh, justice would be served if the big boss man was on the case. Chase, you would be serving hard time, but then I've heard that's part of the problem. JC is really cool in her attitude, said Intoxicated Drums. Iron Survivor rules. Daze, would you like a Moonology Oracle card reading from my Moonology deck, pink or blue? I don't know what those words mean. Do I have to just say pink or blue? Go pink. Bret Hart. It's wrestling, isn't it? Pink. What does that do? Do you just take a pink card and it just like... It's going to be the death card, isn't it? Oh, God. It's going to be the death cards. Is that how it works? Daze, we need another cop gimmick. We had Dijak. He kind of had that detective sort of vibe, didn't he? Here's Baron Corbin. He's burning the... Brony said the age consent in North Carolina is 16. Brony, I'm going to check that for you, buds. North Carolina, age of consent. It is? Oh my God. It is 16, you're right. Oh, do you know what? It's 16 in the UK as well. Wow, it's 16 in the UK. Each state has got its own. It's either 16, 17, or 18. Why did I think it was 21? I thought it was 21. Shows how safe I've been. Do you know what I mean? I thought it was 18 in the UK, 21 in America. Turns out it's not. Flipping 16 in the UK and 16 in a lot of different states. Pervy, innit? Imagine going on the internet to look by state which one is... Oh, man. This is the perviest map I've ever seen in my life. There is no graphic I have ever seen. Graphic, not image. Graphic that I've ever seen that's as pervy as this. It's a map of the United States. And it tells me what age it is everywhere. I've not even downloaded it in high res because I don't want it on my computer. This is the kind of thing that when I get, like, you know, investigated, they find this. It's really going to count, like, against me in the court case. Look at this. Over on the right-hand side, you lot don't give a flip, do you? There's only a couple of places. But over here on the right, you're, like, flipping rabbits. In the middle, gets a little older. And over on the left, you lot are like Mormons. Do you know what I mean? You lot are just, you're not... Christmas gifts, everyone's giving out chastity belts over in California. Over here on the right, oh my God, you're like flipping rabbits. Filthy animals. But yeah, that is a real pervy. That's probably the best way of remembering it, isn't it? If you're going somewhere towards the right of the country, chances are you're fine. In the middle, little older. And over on the right, you just got to go after grannies, old women. Super old over there. Boomers. You can sleep with boomers and that's it in California. That's what I've learned. But it's just a flipping free-for-all over on the right-hand side. Age of consent 16 in Michigan. Let's have a look at the perv map. Where's Michigan? Once we know where Michigan is, get an answer. Isn't Michigan like Chicago? So I think that's 16, yeah. Go with that. Do you know what? If you get it wrong in the court of law, can't you show them this and go, hang on. According to my map, it said 16. Look at this, whatever that state is next to California, look, that's 16. Look at that. Surrounded by 18, but there's that green, like, patch in the middle. I don't know what state that is. That's 16? Imagine that. Imagine you live there and you went venture into a neighbouring state thinking, oh, it's all right, we're all, do you know what I mean? We're all 16. No, just you on your own. All 18. And then you go a bit further over 17. Got to go on quite a trip, ain't you, to go somewhere else. Yeah, amazing. Such a pervy map. That's the quirky thing about America, isn't it? Like, all your states are, like, separate. In this country, it's just, do you know what I mean? One rule. Everyone follows it. We don't have Liverpool doing something different from Manchester. Although, you do have to say America is, like, vastly bigger than the UK. Which is understatement of the year. I don't even know if there's any state that we're bigger than. We must be. We must be bigger than some of these up here. These aren't really states, are they, in the top right? They're just, do you know what I mean? State is like Texas. Look at the size of that. That's huge. Florida, the dong, that's got a bit going for it. California over there as well. You know, these are big. I don't know what they're doing up here in the top right. Just a flipping mess. That should just be one state, really. Get rid of these ones. Don't know what they are. Probably Maine. Things like that. Rubbish. Don't need them. Callie is the best, said A. Jobson. James said, Scousers, F their family members. I'm joking before I get cancelled. Oh, James, you don't need to say that. Chances are you'll get cancelled in a minute anyway. Yeah, I don't know what the Scousers get up to. It wouldn't surprise me. As a Chicagoan, I'm heartbroken that Illinois' age of consent is under 18. You're heartbroken that Illinois' age of consent is it? Isn't that Chicago as well? I don't know. 16 over here, we're fine. I ain't heard no complaints. Everyone's just getting on with their lives. We should just, the whole world should just be 40. Can't have sexual intercourse until you're 40. Blanket the whole world. Knee to the midsection there by Corbin. Jobson said Full Gear has a lot of meaningless matches, rematches, and a Texas death match that we've seen too much lately. Both WWE and AEW are finishing the year very poorly. James said, don't get me started on the Welsh. The middle and the top right of the US map, except Massachusetts, is just filler, says WWE AEW fan. It's hard not to agree. Shots coming in. Mitchell said Nevada has got Las Vegas. They know what they're doing with it being 16. Is that what it is? That is Vegas, the area, isn't it? Is that Nevada? That's Nevada. The city of sin. So, look at this. Flipping this ring of fire. It's like the anus of America after it's had a curry. But in the center, the bumhole, that is Nevada, the city of sin. Yeah, you're right. They know what they're doing, don't they? It's a good shout, that is. It's a good shout. Sin City. That is wild, isn't it? That is wild. Oh, don't you? Do you know what? I mean, like, we will move on, but it is a bit dirty to think that there are people that are traveling to Las Vegas to sleep with younger girls. Which is weird because the age consent 16 is the same here all over the country, but we don't travel to a certain part of the country so that we could then sleep with younger ages. There's something really wrong with that. There's something really wrong with that. Oh, I don't even like this conversation. I don't even know how we've got onto it. This isn't... What's this doing on an NXT watch along? It's uncomfortable, isn't it? Are you uncomfortable? I'm uncomfortable. I kind of like the idea of a load of people being uncomfortable, though. I do like that. A load of people just like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this. Oh. To be honest, that's what I look for with the streams. If I can find a way of like really freaking people out and making them uncomfortable, I think I've done my job. Any reaction is better than no reaction. 1, 2, shoulder up by Baron. The age of consent doesn't mean someone over 18 can sleep with 16, said Wisp. The age of consent doesn't mean someone over 18 can sleep with 16. Does it not? I thought that's exactly what it meant. What does it mean? What does that mean? Doesn't that's exactly what it means? Doesn't it mean that if you're 16, you are legally able to say if you want to engage in sexual intercourse or not? Anyone below that, it doesn't matter what they say, you're not allowed. And can I just say rightfully so as well? Let me add that. Before this gets out of control, let me add, big believer in age of consent. Yeah? Big supporter. But it does mean that, doesn't it? Against the ropes goes Wes. Against the ropes goes Baron. I do want to leave the conversation, but equally, I do love how uncomfortable it's making me. It's 11 in Nigeria, said King. Yet no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. There's one that says 13. Wes Lee goes over the top. Comes crashing down onto Wes. For most of Africa, it's 16. Look at this. Age of consent. Baron has won. For heterosexual sex by country, 12, 13, 14, 20. Let's go. No data available. What's that mean? Must be married. 20, 19, 18, 12. Look at this. What country is that? 12. We need to name and shame that country. That has blown my mind. Yeah, there's another one here that does say 11. 12 is Angola. Angola. Nigeria listed as 11. It didn't say 11 on that other one. Wow. Oh, God. If I was uncomfortable before, I'm really uncomfortable now. Oh, God. Oh, God, I hate this stream. Oh, we've gone so wrong. I don't even know how we've ended up here. We're meant to be watching Baron Corbin attacking Ilya Dragunov. Oh, are you uncomfortable? You are, aren't you? I am as well. Oh, God, I don't know how we're going to get out of this. I don't think we can. This is it. This is the conversation that brings the channel down. This is the end. We've actually reached the end of the channel. Oh, my God. I didn't think it would end this way. No, I did, actually. In fact, this is exactly how I thought it would end. Here's Dragunov. You've made a great mistake. Now you need to live with those consequences. You want an NXT Championship match so bad, you've got it. Deadline. So it's going to be Baron against Ilya. I was just confused then because I thought, wasn't this a qualifying match? But it wasn't. It was just a normal match. So Baron won. Baron won, but he didn't qualify or anything. Instead, gets into a little brawl with Ilya Dragunov, and a match is made. Well, guys, can I just say it's been brilliant streaming for all these years. We've had a lot of laughs. We've had some tears. We've had some highs. We've had some lows. It's an emotional end. It means we don't have to do AEW tomorrow, you know. Although last week was good. I do have to give him that. But emotional. Emotional. James said, I feel sorry for you in your search history. Everything's over. Everything's over. The channel's over. The stream's over. The channel's over. I'm going to prison. Daze, you got Thor cards. Breathe through the tension. Do you know what? Yeah. These cards are good, Sonny. Breathe through the tension. That's exactly what I'm doing. That's good. Breathe through the tension. Okay, what was the next one? Be proud of yourself. We took some gambles, didn't we? We took some gambles. We rolled the dice. We took a risk. Did it work? No, it didn't. But be proud of yourself. I can live with that. What else we got? Take a breather. Yeah. God, these are good. It's exactly what I need to do. Take a breath. Take a breather. Get through the tension. Be proud of yourself. We've nailed this. And what's the last one? Reveal what needs to be seen. Oh, no. Sonny, you're making this up. That card did not say reveal what needs to be seen. How did that do that? Breathe through the tension. Be proud of yourself. Reveal what needs to be seen. You tell me we have not just done that on this stream. That is sick. That is sick. I'm not a believer in that mojo, whatever it is. Hoobla. That hocus pocus. That's what I was looking for. But that is good. That might have made me a believer. That's what she said. I picked the wrong week to subscribe to this channel. Now that it's being shut down. King Yeti said, doesn't the figure come in tomorrow? Doesn't the figure come in tomorrow? Doesn't the figure come in tomorrow? What, the devil mask person? I don't give a flip about that. Do I care who's behind the devil mask? I don't care. John Travolta. There you go. Does it make any difference? That would be cool if it was John Travolta, actually. And I think he would have given it away as well, wouldn't he? If he was. Listen, we're going to see if the channel survives tonight. If it does survive tonight, then I am going to try and stream tomorrow. I've got no idea if it does, though. I think there's a good chance that the stream is not only removed, but so is the channel. And so am I. Probably taken to some kind of, you know, island. I mean, to be honest, as long as I'm not taken to Nigeria. You know, I'm too young. I'm too young. I don't want to be going to Nigeria. God only knows what they'll do to me. 11. 11. Listen, the card said, reveal what needs to be seen. I didn't know this. Mind blown. Thanks a lot for joining, friends. I hope you enjoyed NXT. We'll put the poll up in the community tab. We'll try and be here tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. Go and watch some wholesome content. And I will see you again next time. Bye for now. Bye forever.